We are the DFPN. Always question the answers.
No Gimmicks Podcast, and we bring it to you. Every time we turn live, man, you know it's the truth. Every after show, moving down, it's the time to move around. No Gimmicks Podcast is going down. Every night, every time in the ring. This is the time for the No Gimmicks, know we doing our thing. What's your state of mind, state of mind? Moving down a statement when we take the line. This is exactly wrestling the state design. When you see Stone Cold like me, with the stunner in the world, exactly, man, what we bring. Every night we move like Brock Lesnar, the F5, no gimmicks. We take you to your limit, what's the feeling? When we live in the air, you know we on, it's the time. Guarantee we move, you know how we respond. The state is mine, the state design when we feel it. Moving down, what's the healing? No gimmicks is the feeling.
Yo, what is up, people? Welcome back to the No Gimmicks Podcast here on the DFPN. And this is your WrestleMania 41 recap show. It's in the books. It's come and gone. The people in Vegas, I'll tell you, the people in Vegas are happy. I can tell you that. Not everybody's happy, but we'll get into that. But it's in the books. We got records being broken. We got new champions all around. We're here to talk about it. My co-host at this time. And I saw Honky Tonk Man.
No shit.
Yeah. So I saw Honky Tonk Man. And I'm going to say, D Vader, the fabulous one. What's up, brother?
What's up, man? So, real quick, Honky Tonk Man is one of my favorite people. He is the one who nicknamed yours truly the fabulous Frankie D. That is from the Honky Tonk Man himself. So I'm glad that you were able to meet him. Honky Tonk Man is such a cool dude, man.
He is,
great,
bro.
Great fucking guy.
Yeah, he is. But yeah, man, I saw a lot of legends this weekend. This place owes me nothing, bro. Like it really, it owes me nothing. I had a phenomenal time here. I learned a lot of stuff that I plan on bringing to the table. So this was a good experience, man. But let's talk WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I'll go first because I have thoughts. So I would say night one for me was the better night all around because you had all these it wasn't the pageantry. You didn't have pageantry at all this WrestleMania. And I'll go off the bat and saying it didn't feel as big as a WrestleMania of this nature should feel. This card that was put together, the names on it and the matches you had, you could have done it bigger than what you actually did it. That being said, night one, the main event for night one is probably the match of both days. The way they done this match, the story they told, the build that they did for it, and then you got what you got. Like, it was obvious. It was painfully obvious. It was so obvious that I was like, it's not going to happen. That being said, I like the way it happened because you made it obvious, one, but two, the way you did it didn't make it seem as obvious. It was kind of like, yeah, we're going to tease you, bring you to the edge a little bit, and then bring it back, and then, all right, now we're going to push you over the edge. I actually like how they did that. But making it so obvious, I don't know if I was necessarily a fan of that. Because it was like, man, in hindsight, it was predictable. It was too predictable. And if that's what we're going to get going forward, I mean, okay, that's what it is, but please, take us on the ride. You don't have to give us everything up front. And that's what I feel like this WrestleMania was. We got everything up front, so the payoff wasn't as big as I expected it to be for everything. But that being said, they had great matches. So what about you?
So going into WrestleMania, I was not excited at all about the show. For me, night one started off weird, and the thing that got me was the way the show started. First of all, why would you play the intro and then you cut right to Triple H in the ring? It's not about you, my guy. It's about start the show, pyrotechnics, boom, 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 boom. I did not like the intro. I didn't like that. That's the first thing that got me. I don't know. The main event, loved that match, enjoyed that match thoroughly. Rollins, Punk, Reigns, incredible chemistry out there together. They told a solid story. I mean, my God, just when you thought it was over, they came back and hit you with something else. And I mean, false finishes up the ass. But they told the story. And then Paul Heyman, who I've really not been the biggest fan of, just simply because of all the shit you hear about ECW and all the stuff that happened with those guys. Putting all that aside, Paul Heyman did his work. I got to give the guy his flowers. Paul Heyman made that whole thing come together because I said it on this podcast. You pretty much knew that it was going to be Paul Heyman turning. Paul Heyman was going to turn on Punk. Paul Heyman was going to turn on Reigns. I said them two are going to leave WrestleMania heartbroken, and Seth Rollins is going to align with Paul Heyman. That is what happened. I'm glad I saw that. A lot of other people saw it as well. So I have to say that I enjoyed, night one. I enjoyed Jey Uso winning the championship, although I felt that Gunther tapping out as quick as he did, I didn't like that. I think it made Gunther look kind of weak as to why he would do that. Maybe there's more to it after that, but that's not the shit on Jey Uso's moment. No matter how much the bruh gets ratioed on YouTube, because it's happening, the disfaction of the fans that he won. Congratulations to Jey Uso for becoming the new World Heavyweight Champion. To have his brother in there to celebrate with him, that's what's up. Especially after last year, their match, and that was a debacle. And they admitted it was a debacle. It didn't work right. But just to know the family there, and then to go out later on and see Jacob win the United States Championship in a knockout, drag-out match with LA Knight. And Jacob 5'2" just proves like he is one of the best big man Samoans that I've ever seen in this business. Like, this guy he just has it. You feel me? Now, all the rest of it, I honestly didn't watch. I had specific stuff that I wanted to see because I was working. So I had specific stuff that I wanted to watch, and that's what I take away from night one. But I'm gonna tell you something else too, bro. Damn, they had too many ads on that show. Like, too many commercials on that show. Like, advertisements up the ass. Like, come on, bro. Oh, and my guys, New Day winning the tag team championships. Coming in this time, WrestleMania, coming in as heels. It was cool. Now, hey, listen. What you saw their costumes they were wearing, their attire to the ring. Didn't that kind of remind you of Andre the Giant? Was that an Andre the Giant?
Yep. And I want to go back to your ad thing. And this was kind of my issue in the building. We spent a lot of time waiting for people to get out of the matches. That's why you got all the ads you got. Because Jey Uso, it took him 10 minutes to get out of the ring and get out of the venue. And by the time they came back with the next match, he still wasn't out of the ring. He was in the crowd going up the stairs as the New Day was coming out. So after each match, that's what was taking so long. People took forever to get to the back. And I don't know why that was, but it was just something that just kept happening. That was something I noticed in the building, is we spent a lot of time in between matches just waiting. You know what I mean? But it gave us an opportunity to talk about what just happened and, how everybody felt in the building about the match that they just saw. But yeah, we spent a lot of time. That and the entrances were really long.
Bro, they said WWE posted a video to their official YouTube channel. They said the entrances were 35 minutes of nothing but entrances. And I'm like, do you remember back in the day when they had the cart that would cart you down to the ring? I'm like, do we really necessarily need this long ass entrance ramp? I mean, I don't know. It's like when I was watching Police Academy and the guys are at the restaurant where they're cooking, and he's like, "Is all that crap necessary?" That's kind of like where I'm at right now with this. Like, is all this crap necessary. I mean, I miss the simplicity of like how it used to be. Like just, I mean, damn. I mean, go back to WrestleMania 6, bro. Skydome, Toronto, Hogan versus Warrior. I mean, Warrior ran, Hogan walked, but they're the only two that did it. Everybody else took the cart. I'm not saying bring the cart back, but damn, bro. Could you imagine if Undertaker was on this card?
Bro, that entrance would have took forever. But that's what I'm saying. Like you had this long ramp, and I felt like they invested a lot into the set this year. The set looked incredible, by the way.
Oh, the set was way better than last year's.
Yeah, they put a lot into this set. But one thing I did notice about the set, like if you were sitting there, I would be pissed because all the pyro was going off right behind them.
Yeah, since when the hell did they start allowing you to buy seats on the stage?
This was the first year that they allowed that. And I was just like, that's cool. Looking at it is cool, but I would not want to sit there because that pyro and everything that like when Seth's flames went up, like people are sitting there. And it's like, dude, I know it's hot as shit. I know that pyro is loud.
Well, it's
I would not like that at all.
It's one of those once in a lifetime WWE experiences. Come get burned.
I saw that, was like, nope. Nope, not for me.
Hey, but I'll tell you what.
No.
Why don't you tell the listeners out here? Because see, last week on the podcast, you mentioned, and I quote, "Well, I'm going to be out there in Vegas. I'm going to do everything but WrestleMania." And I said, okay, yeah. So you want to explain to the audience out here who listens to the No Gimme podcast, how did you end up at WrestleMania?
Well, the answer is very simple. So when I got here, one of the guys, shout out to the Nation's Corner. I ended up hanging out with them the entirety of this trip. They gave me a hack. They was like, hey, go on an hour before they open the doors. The ticket prices are significantly lower. And I thought it was bullshit. So I went and I got it wasn't a nosebleed seat. It was like in the 300 sections. I got those tickets for $130.
Oh, wow.
The day of. And on that note, I'd be pissed, bro. if I spent, because I told you the ticket prices.
Yeah.
For upper floors, they were $1,000, bro. So on the day of, they're 90% cheaper. And I was just like, dude, if that was me and I spent all that money for a seat right next to me, and then somebody comes in and be like, yeah, I just got these tickets for $130, I'd be pissed off. I'd be highly pissed.
Well, imagine this, bruh. Imagine paying, what, $25,000 or some shit to sit in the front row, thinking that you're going to see The Rock.
Oh, yeah. And that was another thing for night 2. So the crowd went apeshit for Rock.
Travis Scott.
When Travis Scott came out, people thought The Rock was coming with him because that's what happened before. And you only got Travis Scott. People were noticeably booing because they were like, this is what and then the abrupt ending. And I felt like on night 2, they really squandered an opportunity.
Yeah. What? Okay, like I told you, I got some thoughts as to why I think this might be happening. Just some things I noticed over the weekend. But what's your thoughts on this? Because the main thing is like right now we can do a full recap of WrestleMania on the next show. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. This John Cena heel turn. This story that they've been telling since. I'll go further back. The story they've been telling ever since Bad Blood with The Rock. So what do you think, man?
You can't be effective if everybody's not there. You know what I mean? Like if you don't have everybody aboard, the story is ineffective. Now I give them credit; they did the best job they could with the time that they had. But this story wasn't as effective as it could have been because you don't have the main players there. John Cena sold his soul to The Rock.
Right.
And after that, we didn't see The Rock. We didn't see him at all. So we didn't get any explanation as to why John Cena sold his soul to The Rock. That was the biggest thing missing from this whole thing. Well, we don't know why. We never got an explanation why from John Cena as to why he aligned with The Rock. He just said he turned on the fans. That was the story. He was turning on the fans. He was going to ruin WrestleMania. He was going to get the 17th championship. Now, if this is a troll job, it's an excellent move. But where's the story at? And we got John Cena on the European tour, and we didn't get him in America, where he would have been most effective. All of these promos would have been really effective in America. We didn't get them in America. We got him in Europe, and then he went away. And then he came back for WrestleMania. We didn't hear from him again until SmackDown Friday. So when you go that big amount of time, it's kind of almost out of sight, out of mind, because we're just hearing from Cody. We're not hearing from John Cena. And when he comes back, you get the match that you got. You don't get The Rock in this match, which is confusing for me as a fan. I'm like, where is The Rock in all of this? And why are we not hearing from him? Is it purposely? We didn't even hear The Rock's name brought up this weekend. And that's crazy to me because he's a main player in this story. So not hearing from him, not seeing him, not him being mentioned, and then the ending, you just got Travis Scott, which it was wild. We didn't need Travis Scott. We don't need him at all. So why is he here? So give us The Rock. Give us a reason why this should make sense. To me, the ending of that match did not make sense in the grand scheme of the story because the main players weren't all together in this story. We should have got that. We didn't.
No, I totally agree with you. And this has just been kind of like a hit and miss situation for The Rock since October, Bad Blood, when they were in Atlanta. I'm not sure what's going on here. I think there is some backstage political politics being played here. I believe that to be the case. One noticeable thing that I saw recently and that was at the Hall of Fame, which I watched the Hall of Fame ceremony. Lex Luger actually stood up and did his speech. Enjoyed Luger's speech. Very, very humble.
Yeah.
Yeah, very humble. But so Triple H was out there, and one noticeable omission from Triple H's Hall of Fame speech was The Rock. He didn't mention The Rock. And a lot of people were like, oh, it's not a big deal. And I'm like, but how can Triple H not mention The Rock?
Mm-hmm.
Do people forget the matches these guys had during the Attitude Era? The Rock and the Nation, just going back and forth, them feuding over the WWF Championship, The Rock beating Triple H on Monday Night Raw to win his first Intercontinental Championship when he was Rocky Maivia. So to not mention the guy in your Hall of Fame speech, but you mentioned everybody else. You mentioned Mick Foley. You mentioned, the Click. All these different cats, you don't mention him. I kind of found that funny. And then for the mere fact that The Rock isn't mentioned whatsoever in any of this storyline up until this past week when John Cena mentions The Rock. There's something going on here. Rock didn't mention this at all on social media about any of this. Completely took him out. The only if you want to connect the dots, the only thing they got there was Travis Scott, and he was pretty much ineffective because they only popped when they heard the music and thought he was coming out with The Rock, and it was just him by himself. The crowd turned mild. You can see it clear as day on TV. So I don't know what the politics is here. I don't know if there's some heat. I don't know if this is sabotage. I don't know if The Rock is trying to get Triple H out of the position of creative. I don't know, because Rock is pretty friendly with Ari Emanuel, and he's on the TKO board. And they've already said, remember I said this podcast, months ago, bro, I said Triple H doesn't have any say-so over this shit. You can clearly tell this. He don't have a lot of input when it comes to The Rock.
Right.
Rock comes in and does what he wants. I said this. So I don't know if there's some heat between these two. There's damn sure some heat with Triple H and Bret Hart.
Oh, yeah.
You can see that at the Hall of Fame. Like, Bret does not like Triple H whatsoever. He don't like him. He is not hiding the fact that he doesn't like him.
Nope.
Stone Cold was kind of the same. If you saw that on the stage when Triple H came out at the Hall of Fame, the inductees on the stage.
Yep.
You're trying to say that Triple H is a bigger star than Stone Cold Steve Austin? Please. He's a bigger star than Bret Hart? I don't know about that one, my guy. But that's kind of what I got from that. Like it's just all about him. How many times, my guy, did you see Vince McMahon out there welcoming us to WrestleMania? You never saw that. You saw it at WrestleMania 3, and then he introduced the Queen of Soul, Miss Aretha Franklin. You saw it then, right? But you don't see that. This is like every time they do a big event, Triple H has his face all over it. I'm like, just the ego, like, and it's not even good. That's the thing about it. Like this WrestleMania is a big letdown, and it's from a creative storytelling standpoint. It makes no sense. None of this shit makes sense.
Exactly.
You cannot put on a clear, concise story that makes sense if you don't have the guy, the orchestrator of the whole damn thing. If you knew The Rock wasn't going to be there, which I'm assuming they did, they knew The Rock wasn't going to be there. That's where you change the plans up and you involve Paul Heyman into the story. You involve Seth Rollins into the story. Because now it's like, okay, we saw the turn with Rollins and Heyman, right? Okay, so what did Seth Rollins say? He has to save wrestling. Okay, then obviously he has to go after John Cena now.
Right. If that's the mission, then
right, you got to go after Cena.
Right. Or are they all working together? Like you could have did that.
I said this.
You could have did that.
My idea that I said on the last podcast would have made sense for this to happen, and they didn't do any of this shit. And I'm like, this is once again, I'm sticking by it. I don't give a damn. This right here was WrestleMania 2000 all over again. Bullshit finish.
I gotta agree. It was bad. I'm gonna just come out and say it. It was bad.
I don't think it. Bro, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't even think WrestleMania even needs to be 2 nights.
I don't think so either. And this is just based off what you gave us for both nights. You could have cut a lot of these matches out.
So it was raw, bro. I mean, let's just keep it 1,000.
Yeah.
This was a glorified episode of Monday Night Raw or SmackDown. It's just a big ass stadium. It's just a stadium.
Right. It's a bigger weekly show. That's what it felt like being there. It felt like I was at a bigger weekly show. It did not feel as you didn't.
This does not feel like WrestleMania, bro.
No, it didn't.
There's nothing about this. This reminds me. I swear to God, man, and I will die on this hill. This felt like a bad Starrcade. Like this felt like Starrcade 2000 or some shit, or Starrcade 99. That's what this felt like. Like this right here was. People go back and say all the time, well, what about the finish of Goldberg versus Kevin Nash? And all that happened here. I'll take that over what we got and with John Cena and Cody Rhodes. I'll take that. Because at least with that one there, you had Scott Hall come out there, you had Bam Bam Bigelow come out there. This is Travis Scott, a skinny ass rapper. Come on, man.
Didn't even get his receipt because that's what I was waiting on. I was like, if he's
didn't get a receipt, didn't get a receipt. No one gave a shit about him being out there. No one gave a damn. Like you would think a guy getting the Crossroads, you would think it would get a pop. Like, oh yeah, from the audience. No one gave a damn. And congratulations, because the crowd is booing Cody Rhodes and cheering John Cena, cheering the heel. They popped big when he won the title. So how do you come back from that? I'm sorry. But John, it's just not working. It's not working.
You could have did a double turn.
You should have.
You should have did it.
And then Cody, and then the whole thing of John's, acting like a coward in the ring and begging off, like, oh, please, no, don't hit me. Like, that's so Ric Flair, Hollywood Hogan, you know what I mean? That's what that was. And the finish with him getting hit with the belt, that's so Hog Wild 96 when Hogan hit the Giant with the belt, won the title, and then spray paint NWO.
Yep.
That's kind of what I got from that. But I don't know, bro. Like, I'm at a loss for words. Like, you and I exchanged messages this morning, and I'm at a loss for words. So I don't know how to. I guess we'll see what they do tonight on Monday Night Raw. I mean, Steve says he's gonna ruin wrestling for everybody. So I'm assuming that bringing back the spinner belt is. I'm assuming that's what's gonna happen, but I don't know. But I mean, they got the next pay-per-view coming up. What is it? Backlash, right? St. Louis.
Yeah.
Okay. So wouldn't it make more sense for now Randy Orton to step up and say, "I want a piece of John Cena"?
Yep.
I'd like to see that. The roles are reversed now.
Yep.
So I'd love to see that because you taking Cody out of the equation at this point because I mean,
which is wild because Cody was so popular, and I don't know when they started booing him, but once they started booing him, I'm like, bro,
what?
Once you lose that title, I'm kind of worried on your position on the card, bro. I really am.
You know what this reminds me of? With Cody Rhodes?
What's that?
This reminds me of 1995 WCW with Hulk Hogan.
Yep.
That's what this is. But Hogan did want to, but he had good business sense to know it's time for me to turn.
Yep.
When Hall and Nash came in. That's when he decided, okay, I'm going to turn now because they have been booing. Jimmy Hart said it himself. We noticed we're coming out there, we're getting a lot more boos than usual. So you change. Cody, I'm sorry. Your babyface act is boring, bro. It's stale. Like, that's
it's
why.
It's not him. It's not him.
It's creatively, but hold on. It is him. Because he was having the same issue in AEW. So it's something about him
as a face.
As a babyface that it's not clicking with everybody because it's just like at this point, okay, they sing your song and the Cody Rhodes, all that bullshit, right?
Yeah.
That's it. Okay, well, other than that, they didn't give a damn. If you lost, they cheered the guy who just basically says on SmackDown, I don't need any damn one of you. They cheered him over you.
Yeah.
You're the one out there kissing babies and giving high fives and all that shit.
Yep.
You got to change.
Late after the shows.
You're right. You got to change sometime.
Yep.
And I'm telling you, it'll do wonders for you. I mean, Hogan did it. The biggest babyface of all time. He did it.
I think
Stone Cold turned heel at one point and it didn't work because somebody wanted to boo Stone Cold. We want to boo Cody Rhodes.
Yep. I think in this whole thing, it would have made way more sense if Cody turned. This would have been way better if Cody would have won turning on John Cena.
I agree. I totally agree with you. This would have been if it would have done a double turn. And I told you before, this and people say, like, what messed up this WrestleMania this year, right? I'm gonna tell you what I think. I think what messed this up was them switching the Royal Rumble to February.
I believe so too.
That was the first issue. They never should have switched the Rumble to February. They need to switch that shit back to January.
Yeah,
because you had too much. You had too much other shit going. Like there was no time to plan this shit out. You know what I'm saying? And people say, "Oh, well, it started with Jey Uso." Okay, yeah, it started with Jey Uso, but the creative for Jey Uso sucked ass because you had him wrestle Gunther here at Saturday Night's Main Event in San Antonio. That's where it all started, right there. So him finally conquering Gunther at WrestleMania, okay, it's a cool moment, but it means nothing.
No, I agree with that. Totally agree with that. And he should have had a main event. That's 2.
Yeah.
So there were things that happened in this WrestleMania that it's like, why go through the process, right? So you have Jey Uso winning the Royal Rumble, doesn't get the main event, right? You have Charlotte winning the Royal Rumble, Not only does she not get the main event, she loses. That one I kind of understand. Right. Bianca Belair wins the Elimination Chamber, loses. Like, what are we doing? It's like, do they matter or do they not? Because the only one that really mattered right now was the men's Elimination Chamber. Because that guy came out on the other side.
Yeah, the Elimination Chamber match. I mean, that pay-per-view was your WrestleMania, pretty much.
Pretty much. So it's like, why be excited for any of these? Because the build for the women's, Charlotte and Tiffy, it was awkward. It felt like they were exchanging real shit. They get in there. The match itself is it's not crisp. It felt like they was in there fucking exchanging live rounds, bro. Like, watching it felt like, man, they really might not like each other for real. And there was a lot of talk in the building. There was a lot of talk of Charlotte sandbagging that match.
That could be the case, but Charlotte still did the.
She still did the job. Mm-hmm. So on that note, I'm like, yeah, she got it done, but man, it felt like she was kicking and screaming at some points. Like, I don't want to do this. But
and why would you take Bayley off the show just to insert Becky Lynch? And Becky to me, I did see some, a little bit of that. Becky didn't look like she was in good ring shape to me.
I don't know.
Where the fuck was Chelsea Green?
Not on the card. Not on the card.
You couldn't do a Chelsea Green versus Bayley match?
You could have. Where were the Street Profits?
SmackDown.
There's questions, man.
Why is McIntyre wrestling Priest again instead of wrestling Roman Reigns when he said I was going to destroy the bloodline one by one?
Questions.
Mm-hmm.
Questions.
Now it opens up a possibility though of a McIntyre Jey Uso feud.
It does. You need someone to go after Jey, which I would like Drew.
Yeah, I'm all there for that one.
Yeah, I do like Drew.
But it does set up Seth Rollins. But I don't think so. I think we're gonna get Seth
going after Cody.
Yeah, Seth. I don't think so.
Not Cody.
I think Seth is gonna go after Punk or Reigns. That's his feud.
Yeah.
Probably more. I think it's gonna be more Roman Reigns, to be honest.
Because he has the wise man.
Yep.
I mean, either way, you could go best friend, wise man. You wouldn't be wrong either way.
Yeah.
So.
Because at this point, Roman Reigns honestly doesn't need Paul Heyman anymore.
No, he doesn't. What if you did CM Punk Jey Uso?
You had to turn Punk heel.
Yeah, you would. Yeah, you would. I don't see how that would work with him being a face anyway.
I don't know, but they had I really enjoyed that match, that triple threat. That's one of the best triple threat matches I've ever seen in WrestleMania. That one and the women's. The women's, yeah. I really like that one too. That they stole 19. Although I'm not on the Io Sky train.
Me
I
neither.
Don't get it.
Me neither.
I don't get it. She is not as popular as Rhea or Bianca.
Why are we punishing Bianca Belair, bro? Why?
I don't know.
Why?
I don't know. Like why have her retain when obviously Bianca should have got the win with help from Naomi turning heel finally. That's what I would have done. Why is our creative on this show better than what the hell they're doing?
Like, bro, why? In what world? And this is my problem. So Bianca Belair has not been in a title picture for a while.
Yeah.
She was holding the tag titles while the other women were getting built up to be champions. That's great and fine, but Bianca is a first class talent, bro. You don't have her not in the picture. But the fact that her, Jade, and Naomi made the tag team titles relevant speaks volumes. It should speak volumes. So when she gets the title opportunity, I don't know why you don't pull that trigger based off her body of work with the tag titles alone, because no one gave a shit about them.
I don't know. I honestly, I don't know what they're doing here with this. With the decisions that were made here, I simply don't understand like the creative that came out of the show. I'm
Don't either.
I'm at a loss for words here as we're recording this on a Monday morning. I don't understand what they did here. Like, what was the point of The Rock? What was the point of Cena's heel turn to begin with? What is the point of having Jade Cargill and Naomi, but you don't have Bianca involved in this? And I don't understand this.
No, I don't. And the questions I kept asking in all the cases, not just one, all of them, is where do we go from here? And I don't have a clear answer for anybody. Like where do we go from after this pay-per-view, after this PLE? What's the course of action? And right now I'm lost. I don't know.
I think we'll find out tonight the course of action once we hear what John Cena has to say. Once we see what Seth Rollins is going to do with Heyman, that whole thing there. I don't know. I don't know either. I'm just I don't get any of this. I don't get any of this. Like this whole thing was it's trash. Like this. I don't know. People like, once again, don't take my word for it. Don't take Blak's word for it. Just go watch it and see for yourself.
Yeah,
because this was trash. This was not a good show. This show had some good matches, but it was not a good show. This was not 2 nights to say, oh, I got to go back and watch that shit, because it's not. It's not.
Agreed. It's not something that you'd be like, oh, guess what happened last night? You know what I mean? It's like
it's not like back in the day where you'd have WrestleMania happen and then it's the Monday morning talk, like everybody's talking about Mania. Everybody's talking about how shit it was, is what's going on. Everybody's talking about how the Rock didn't show up, what was the point of the heel turn? What was the point of all this? What was the point of all that? That's what people are talking about. Is that really what you want to hear on Monday after you've done this show here? But listen, they got your money. You paid all that damn money to go to WrestleMania, and you thought you were going to see The Rock, and you didn't get to see The Rock. It was basically one of the biggest bait and switches of all time.
Can't argue with that. Can't argue with that at all.
That's why I got it on Peacock. If I was to have to spend like major buku money for this shit, it'd be a different story. I don't have to. It's on Peacock. That's why I love Peacock. Because you can literally watch this shit and don't have to spend $60, $70, $80 for this damn bullshit. Yeah. And I don't even listen, I'm in the archive anyways, bro. I'm in the WCW shit. I'm in the old WWF shit. I told one of my partners, I was like, 'cause he watched it. He's a casual, but he watched it. And he was like, man, what the hell? Like, what did I just watch? He's like, I thought The Rock was going to be there. I said, bro, I'm going to give you a WrestleMania to watch, and I want you to tell me what you think of it. I said, this is one of the greatest WrestleManias, if not the greatest WrestleMania of all time. Go watch WrestleMania 17 and tell me what you think. Compare that shit with tonight and Saturday, and let me know what you think about it.
Yep. I agree. But hopefully this is lessons learned. They go back to the drawing board, figure out, have a plan in place already. Because that was my issue with it. It's like it seemed like we didn't have a solid plan. And it's exactly how the show played out for me. It's like we didn't have anything solid nailed down, and we were just going through a lot of different ideas, and this is the one that made the most sense to us.
Yeah, well, what the hell do we know? Because we're just podcasters and fans, and the internet and Triple H basically says that we don't really know what the hell we're talking about, and just watch it and shut the fuck up. And that's pretty much what it is, because everything's good. I can sit inside of an arena and they say, "Oh, it's bad," and then Cody Rhodes comes out there, and you got 20,000 people, cheering him, singing his song and shit, So I don't know a damn thing. I don't know shit about this.
Oh man! But final thoughts, man. What you got?
Final thoughts is this, bro. If you want to, holler at your boys here, if you like what we do here, we got our cash apps on the screen for your, if you want to, donate to the cause, because we're not monetized here on YouTube yet, but we will get there one day. You can go right there, $FTC38, and you got the Blak Makk over there, $Blak Makk, right there, BLAKMAKK, and that's pretty much it. You can continue to help control the pet population, have your pets spayed or neutered, especially those of you in Las Vegas. You know what I'm saying? And I guess we'll find out what's going to happen tonight on Monday Night Raw on Netflix to see where they take this story. What's the ride that we're going to be taking on? Because that's what The Rock always says. I'm going to take you. Enjoy the ride. The Rock's going to take you on. I got the fuck off. I got off the ride. Because this is trash, bro. I got off the ride. I'm sorry, I did.
Oh man. I mean,
people can say what they want, and I'm gonna continue to represent right here. You see it on my shirt. I'm gonna continue to represent that right there, because that's where I'm at. I'm one of these old school fans, and it's still to this day. It is what it is.
Yeah. It's just preparation. Prepared is better.
Need some preparation H for that shit, bro.
Oh man! But shout out to everyone in Vegas. When I get back, I'm getting ready to pack my bags. But when I get back, there's some people I got to shout out. It's way too many to do it right now, but there's a lot of people.
Triple H.
Yeah, no. There's a lot of people here while I was here that I ended up talking to that gave me some words of wisdom. People that I never thought I'd be talking to. So this was awesome, man. Vegas don't owe me shit. I will say for the fans in attendance were awesome. The event itself, could have saved this for a weekly show, bro. Like for real.
I would hate to spend all that money. And I told you, I will never spend that much money on fucking wrestling. This guy behind me, Vader, I'll spend it on that. Star Wars, I'll spend it on that. But wrestling, nah. I've been there. I've been there, done that shit, bro.
Yep. Nah. That's why I looked. I was like, all right, I'm gonna buy one because that shit was cheap. I was like,
I knew it. I knew you talked all this shit the other day when we're doing this podcast, and I said there ain't no way in hell Blak is going to fucking Mania. He's going to Vegas and not go to Mania. I'm like, I'm gonna do everything other than WrestleMania.
That was the plan. That was the plan.
Show country ass up. Damn well you was gonna do WrestleMania. There ain't no way in hell you wasn't gonna do it. So when you sent that picture to me, I was laughing my ass off because I was like, I fucking knew it. Like I knew you was gonna do it. And I'm gonna be completely honest with you. If I had to win with you, I probably would have done it too. But not for $500.
Fuck it. Yeah, no, for $130, I was like, fuck that. I'm going.
Right.
I'm going. It's like, fuck it. I'm gonna go. And I'm gonna have fun. And that's what I did.
Right.
I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun in the building, but the consensus in the building was the same.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is what a lot of people were saying in the building. Right. So take that for what it's worth. So, but that's it, man. You got anything else?
Nothing else. Like I said before, if y'all like what you hear, y'all want to donate to the cause, our cash app's on the screen. Yep. You can donate to the cause if you want to, because it's all going to Vader shit for me. So,
this one's going back in the. So what I've learned is to build. So what I get is going to go into the podcast. That way we can go do more shit. So we can be on location for more shit.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. The building.
Yep.
Vader suit. No. No, it's just it's just like I said before. We're not monetized, and we do pretty good shit here. And you know, if you, like I said before, you don't have to. You can always go to the Patreon, DFPN Patreon. But like I said before, that's the best way if you want to donate to your boys and whatever. And also, listen, leave a comment. You know, like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment on there. You know, we will. You know, we like to get different ideas creatively. You know, we're not like the WB here where we don't listen to what people say. We do listen. Okay, I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you that your opinion doesn't really mean shit, and just shut the fuck up and listen to the show. That ain't going to happen over here. I actually do like to go back and forth with people and have a good dialogue and you know, try to, you know, figure these things out. So, like I said before, like, subscribe to the YouTube channel, continue to spread the word about the No Gimmicks podcast, and that's all I got, bro.
That's all I got too, man. So we'll be back. Till then, let us know your thoughts on WrestleMania. This is No Gimmicks. Enjoy what you want to enjoy. See you guys next time. Peace.
And I know it's all business, all business, all business. We give them no gimmick. Yeah. And I know it's all business, all business, all business. We give them no gimmick. Yeah. And I know it's all business, all business, all business. We give them no gimmicks, gimmicks.